Hello everyone, welcome back to another episode of r/Malicious Compliance. In today's episode, forced to do homework over and over until perfect? Trash. You have to take it down yourself. Bully learned their lesson. They made me an offer too great to fulfill. Before we get started, make sure to subscribe so you will never miss a video. So let's get started. Forced to do homework over and over until perfect? Trash. So this was back in elementary school. My mom was insanely overbearing on school stuff, among other things, and would flip out over bad grades. Bad grades being an A-. So I got a few dreaded B's in like 4th or 5th grade for the first time in my life. Mom was livid and started calling my teachers every day for them to tell her what my assignments were. As punishment for my grades, she would make me carry every single school book I had in my backpack to and from school every day, regardless of homework. This sucked, because I had to walk to and from school, and it was a really hilly route. I had to sit at the kitchen table as soon as I got home and complete all of my homework. If I didn't have homework in some subjects, she would come up with something for me to do. I had to submit it to her for grading, and if I missed even one question or if my handwriting was too sloppy, she would rip up the assignment and make me do the entire thing over again. I'd be there for hours, some days no dinner, until I finished it all. So I'd go to school the next day with these perfect assignments all ready and turn them in to the dumpster. Not every single one, but usually just enough to make sure I still had a B. She lost her SH*T when she found out. It was awesome, and even now in my 30s, I'm proud of that ballsy little dude. It took me until junior year of high school to get her to give up on getting on my ass about grades, but when she finally gave up, it was all 3.9 or higher GPA through graduation. You have to take it down yourself. Another post reminded me of something that happened last week. I'm a high school teacher. Attached to the ceiling we have projectors and manual projection screens. Underneath the screen, there's a little string to pull it down or back up again. When I entered a class full of excited freshmen last week, said string was neatly tied to the projector, close to the ceiling. When asked, the students enthusiastically informed me that the previous teacher was the culprit. Furthermore, they said, this teacher had specifically instructed them that they were not allowed to help me in any shape or form to untie the string. I would have to stand on a chair or something. When they started claiming, quite dramatically, that the previous teacher had also joked to them about my height, I'm 5 feet 3 inches, I started suspecting they were messing with me. What a pity, I said. But that's fine. I just won't use slides today. The students panicked as they would have to pay that much more attention, without convenient slides to base their notes on, and within 30 seconds a student had climbed a chair to untie the string and get me my projection screen. Afterwards it turned out the previous teacher was indeed the culprit. The string hung behind the blackboard and got stuck frequently when the blackboard was rolled up and down, which blocked everything. All the other stuff was exaggerated by the students. Bully learned their lesson. I work as a nurse, and in my first year of nursing I had to deal with a lot of bullying from older nurses. I came into my night shift early and got my assignment of patients and began to pull my meds and set up my computer station. I like to get a good idea on my patient population and planned for the night. This older nurse barges in, who I am meeting for the first time, and steals my computer with meds stocked in. It's first come first serve. I had to then have my meds in the back room, which requires walking a lot more just to obtain them versus it being next to patient rooms. B states one of my patients belongs to her and she will take the patient back. She wanted a full assignment so she didn't have to admit a fresh post-operative patient overnight, which tends to be more busy. I am a new nurse, and although I was seeing red, she was much older than me. I'm new and also it's night shift and I just didn't want to deal with drama. I let it all go. She got her patient and the computer. Later that night, I got a fresh post-op patient that was pretty easy, straightforward. Turns out the older nurse was stuck in the patient that she stole's room the entire night. The patient was vomiting blood with an active GI bleed. I walked by the room and she looked at me with guilt in her eyes. Her taking this patient back made her night shift not so chill after all. I did help with the patient regardless though. Anyway, I hope she learned her lesson. They made me an offer too great to fulfill. I see car dealership stories are all the rage recently, so let me share mine. It was around 2009 when there was a scrappage scheme in Scotland. You could get £2,000 if you scrap your old banger towards a new car. I decided to go for it, but being a student I could only afford a small car, so was browsing the market. At that time new Twingo arrived, so I went to a Renault dealership near me to take a look and check if I could fit into it. I am a big guy. The dealership happened to be Arnold Clark, known for their very pushy sales techniques. So here I am, trying to look at Twingo, but there was a small crowd of people around it. While first-generation Twingo was popular in Europe, it was not available in RHD, so the second generation was brand new car for Britons. I decided to walk around and look what else they have on offer. I was looking at Renault Clio when a salesperson approached me. He asked if I liked the car. I gave a polite non-committing answer as it was the cheapest version possible, no radio, wind-up mirrors, black bumpers, white paint, you know it. He said to me this car is worth £13,000, but today only I can have it for £4,000 less. Moreover, they will offer me special insurance, so if my car is written off or stolen in the first year, I will get its full value from the moment of purchase back in cash. He offered to discuss that with me over a coffee, so since the crowd for the Twingo was still big, I said why not. He sat me down at the table, made me a really nice latte, and went to bring some leaflets. Meanwhile, one of his colleagues approached me to tell me in secret that he should not tell me that, as they are on commission, but this is too great of a deal to miss. Yes, they are that predictable. Finally, the first guy came, and it turned out that he not only brought leaflets but also brought contracts and other documents ready to sign. I took a sip of my coffee and told him I need to give them a good read. I started from that insurance documents. It said indeed that if I crash the car or if it gets stolen within a year of purchase, I will get its full value at the moment of purchase in cash. Its full value, that is £9,000. So I stopped reading and I asked the guy, you said, you can sell me this car for £4,000 less than it's worth today, right? He said yes. I said, great, this insurance document values the car at £9,000. If I can have it for £5,000, I am paying cash now and I am happy to drive it off in 15 minutes. Where do I sign? I started browsing the paperwork for that other document, but he snapped them out of my hand and told me he need to check something, then disappeared into the staff-only doors. I sat there. The other guy came to ask if he can be of any help. I told him the other guy went somewhere with my contract I wanted to sign and never came back. He told me he'll look for me, and that I am to wait and make sure I am comfortable, they will be back right away. He disappeared as well. I finished my coffee, tried the Twingo, it was not comfortable, tried new Renault Master, because I like vans, and left. The rest of the staff was giving me the wide berth, so it was fun, but finally I got bored. I ended up with Daihatsu, purchased from independent dealer, which I love and I drive it all those years till today. Actually, there is a little side story with Daihatsu as well. Arnold Clark didn't had Daihatsu dealerships, so there were only independent dealers in Glasgow. I went to the first one, and while I was taking a look, I overheard sales guys talking to each other about bloody Polish people wasting their time. While Poles don't have money for brand new cars anyway, this was the time when Polish migration to the UK was still a relatively new thing. On hearing that, I just got up and left, didn't look back. Got my car from another dealer on the opposite end of the city. When I picked it up, I drove by this first dealer and drove slowly by while blasting Polish music from my stereo. If you made it to the end of the video, Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe and share, and we will see you in the next video.